Right. So, good afternoon, all, and warm welcome to the session on optimizing workday performance through nutrition. In today's fast-paced work environment, staying energized, focused, and productive is essential. The food we consume plays a crucial role in fueling our bodies and minds, impacting everything from concentration to stress management. So, in this session, we will explore practical nutrition strategies to enhance your work performance, maintain steady energy levels, and support overall well being throughout the day. Esteemed guest for today is Ridhima Dhingra, a certified dietitian. So, Ridhima is an experienced clinical dietitian with a strong academic background, including an MSc in food and nutrition and a postgraduate diploma in diabetics and public health nutrition from Delhi University. With over 20 years in the field, she has worked across various healthcare settings, from hospitals like AIMS to private clinics and digital health platforms like Practo. She specializes in diabetes management, kidney disease, hypertension, weight management, and lifestyle modifications. So currently, she serves as a visiting consultant at Dev Healthcare, an advisor at Venture Blick, and a nutrition consultant at Practo. Ridhima is also involved in course development and patient education, reflecting her commitment to empowering individuals through nutrition. So I think we are in the safe hands. So without further any ado, so I will hand it over to Ridhima. So over to you, Ridhima. We can get started with the session.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Okay, so just a minute, let me share my screen. Okay, so are you all able to see the screen now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so let me start with a quick question. Now, has anyone here ever, tried to stop a yawn by keeping their mouth shut only to, end up yawning through their nose during an afternoon call? Or maybe found themselves staring at their screen, reading the same email 5 times? Yeah? If you're nodding, you're not alone. We've all been there. So I'm Ridhima, and I'm a clinical dietitian. And while most conversations with dietitians, they revolve around weight loss or how eating more and more protein is going to magically fix everything, I am going to talk about something different, which is how to use food to boost your work performance. So, in my practice of 20 plus years, I have come to believe that small changes in what and when you eat can be a game changer. So, before we dive in, let's do a quick poll.
So shall I share the poll, Ridhima?
Please go ahead and share.
1 second.
I like to call this poll the energy map poll. So, when do you feel least productive? There are few options. It's 10:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m., and 6:30 p.m.
We are getting the people are voting. So I would suggest others also to please participate in the poll.
Sure. Yes, it'll be lovely if everyone can give in their opinion on this.
I think we are getting a unanimous decision. So I'll be sharing.
Yeah. So we are unanimously getting it at 2:30 p.m. Obviously, that's why it is called the dreaded, post-lunch zone. And as we go further, we'll get to know why. Okay, performance and challenges. Now, we all share a common goal, which is to perform at our best, physically, mentally, emotionally. But what's stopping us? Sometimes it's seasonal infections, sometimes chronic illnesses, body aches, injuries, brain fog, fatigue. They can all drag down our performance. Now, imagine if there was a magic pill, that could prevent sickness, boost energy, speed up recovery from injury, and cure metabolic diseases, and restore us to full health quickly. Sounds impossible. But what if I told you that there is a powerful code inside our body that can help us heal and perform at our best? It's called the circadian rhythm. and it plays an important role in unlocking our true potential. So the circadian rhythm, it is our body's internal clock. Okay, it is present in every cell and every organ. It's like a master program. It controls when each gene in our body gets activated. It ensures that every organ operates at its peak. So this timing, it helps us stay healthy by boosting our immune system, speeding up repair processes, and optimizing brain function for better intellectual and emotional health. So it supports detoxification processes, DNA repair, basically keeping us at our best. So circadian rhythm, it organizes our life into sleep, nutrition, and physical activity. Now, very quickly, I'll explain you how this cycle works, and I promise I will keep it very simple and I'll not make it feel like a science class. Okay, so there are two key hormones which control, which play a crucial role in the circadian rhythm. One is cortisol, which is our morning hormone, the hormone which is responsible for our alertness, for our wakefulness. And the other is melatonin, which is our hormone for sleep. It induces sleep. Okay, so what happens when we wake up in the morning and our melatonin levels, the sleep hormone, the levels start to drop down, and the cortisol levels, they start to go up, reaching a peak around noon. So that is the reason around 10 to 12, we feel very energetic. But with our alertness peaking at noon, and as the day goes by, further we feel a certain change. Okay, now this sudden change is because there is now a drop in cortisol post lunch, which is in the afternoon. And that's the reason for our Reddit, 2:30 p.m. slump. So as we go further in the day towards night, the melatonin levels start increasing and cortisol levels goes down. So when the melatonin levels increase, obviously we feel sleepy, we sleep off, and during our deep sleep is when most of the body's repair and restoration process happens. So this cycle goes on and on every single day. And while our ancestors, they lived in perfect harmony with these biological processes, but modern day work, it demands, the demands are different. So they require us to work against our cycle. And we often find ourselves fighting this, natural cycle. And this results in the misalignment. But understanding this tension, it is the first step towards finding a better balance. Now, what is the role of poor diets or poor eating patterns in this? So poor diets and eating patterns, they are going to add to this confusion. See, a sleep deprived brain, since we are already having irregular sleep patterns, our brain is mostly sleep deprived, and our sleep deprived brain, it looks for a nutrient dense diet. Thus, a lot of processed foods are mostly more tempting to those who are, sleeping late. So there are more cravings, there's more caffeine, more sugar, and because the brain is confused, it does not know when, till what time does it have to stay awake? When are you going to finally go to sleep? So it keeps telling us to eat. So, and by not supporting it by nutritious and timely meals, we are worsening the situation. So poor diets and irregular sleep patterns, they form a deadly combination and they are going to really cause a lot of problem. So poor diet, poor eating patterns. Now, poor eating patterns like skipping meals. Many of us end up, skipping our breakfast. We just leave for office maybe with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or maximum maybe a cup of milk. So eating too late, eating too little, and irregular meals or not choosing nutritious foods, then cutting down on food items like carbohydrates or fats in the name of healthy dieting. So all of this can further mess up with our circadian rhythm, leading to energy dips, blood sugar imbalances, and micronutrient deficiencies. So poor diets and sleep deprivation for prolonged periods, they will lead to weight gain, they will lead to insulin resistance, thyroid problems, elevated triglycerides, and the list is very, very long. So once that happens, then we want to fix it. Okay, once we are diagnosed with maybe pre-diabetes or something, we want to fix it. And the next thing most of us want to do is probably, start cutting down on food and probably hit the gym. But without fixing our diet or our rest cycle, if we hit the gym, it's not going to work. Within a month, we may, start facing body ache, leg pain, backache, and such issues. And ultimately, we'll think that probably, gymming is not for us, and we might discontinue gymming. So next, we would want to do something, something light. And many of us start following some questionable social media advice, focusing on cutting down an entire food group. So this is going to further, worse things for you. So when this happens, many of us will get a feeling of being stuck. But what we are not realizing is that our body is fully capable of fixing itself. We just have to let it, right? We just have to enable it and give it what it needs. So, how to enable our body to fix itself using food? So, the first thing is, it's obviously the most obvious yet most ignored, is eating a balanced diet. Okay, so since middle school, we all have been constantly, we've been learning, and we've also been told several times that eat a balanced meal to stay healthy. And eating a balanced meal means having all the important macronutrients, which is, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vegetables, fruits, all of that. And it is actually very easy to figure out if you are eating a balanced diet or not. Just maybe glance at your plate and figure out if these five ingredients are there in your meals or not, right? And eating a balanced meal, it works very well for almost everyone, unless you have a specific medical issue, or you have a special requirement, or you're recovering from an illness, then things may change. But for the rest of us, a balanced meal is good enough. And to stay on balanced meal, you don't have to even switch to a something different. You don't have to switch to something new. You can just balance your unbalanced meals. It's that easy. Okay, so it's easier than you might imagine. So it does not need any skills, which I'm going to prove now. Let me show you an image. Okay, can everybody see this unbalanced meal? You can all maybe type in the chat. Okay, so would anybody want to try how to convert this unbalanced meal to a balanced meal? Looks like the afternoon slump is hitting everybody here. Okay, so I'm waiting. Okay, okay, I can see someone saying add vegetable. Wonderful. What else can we add? Reduce the carb and add protein. Add dal. Wonderful. See, it does not require you to be a dietitian. Figuring out what is a balanced meal is pretty easy. So just by adding a portion of dal and a portion of vegetable, you can balance this imbalanced meal, right? And now that everybody has their own likes, dislikes, and preferences, so the good news is that balanced meals, they come in all bites and delights. Okay, so if you are like a dal rice person, by just adding vegetables to your meal, you're balancing it, right? And if you want something fancy, something, if you want it to look like you've ordered from outside, or probably it's Friday and you want to eat something tasty. So maybe you could make yourself a burrito bowl, right? Or if you are too busy for, cooking and you want something very quick, easy, simple, straightforward, maybe a egg burji with vegetables and roti, that'll work, right? So it's very, very easy to, convert our unbalanced meals to balanced meals. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Did you know that our body cannot store protein, right? So eating protein on a daily basis, it becomes very important. Okay. And also, if you're eating excess of protein, the excess will not be converted to muscle. It will be either used for energy or it is going to be stored as fat. So even if you're eating too much, it's of no use. If you're eating too less, you're depriving yourself, right? Similarly, then there are many nutrients which your body cannot store and it needs a constant supply. So therefore, eating balanced meals is very important. So you can maybe think of balanced meals as your daily top up. As your daily nutrient top up. Okay, so they'll keep you energized and at your best on a daily basis. Next is to perform our very best, we need to keep our blood sugar levels balanced. And by eating healthy meals regularly throughout the day, we can achieve that. So if you look at the image, you can see that there is a healthy blood sugar range. Okay, there are two green parallel lines. So between that is the healthy blood sugar range. And the blue curve, it depicts how our blood sugar levels should be. And that will happen only when you are eating balanced meals regularly. Okay, so, but if you are resorting to too much sugary foods, then you can please have a look at the red curve. Okay, so that is the kind of spike you are going to get if you are, eating too much of sugary foods. And if this spike, if this kind of a pattern becomes very regular, if this starts to happen on a daily basis, then over, prolonged periods, it will result in insulin resistance. Okay, so simple thing is aim for three main meals, 1 to 2 snacks, and stay energized and focused. It's not just about eating more, it's also about eating quality food. Okay, it's about eating right. So, this is a very simple approach, but it is going to keep your energy up and it's going to help your body work its best. Okay, now balanced blood sugar levels. Now, balanced blood sugar levels are significantly associated with brain function and memory performance. So, eating a meal, if you are, preparing for an important task, so eating a meal 1 hour before that important task is crucial. Okay, if it's a meal, make sure you eat 1 hour before the task. If it's a snack, make sure you eat about 20 to 30 minutes before the task. Okay, next we come to variety. Yes. So gut health is very crucial. Why? Because obviously through gut we are absorbing most of our nutrients. So for nutrient absorption, gut is really important. And an unhealthy gut is one big reason for micronutrient deficiencies. So eating a diverse diet, it will keep your gut healthy and thriving. And since the more diverse you will eat, the more diverse gut microbiome you will have. Also, another perk is that adding diversity to your meals keeps your meals interesting, and we don't get a chance to get bored of our homemade meals. So make sure you are eating a diverse diet. And that you can do basically by adding more and more ingredients throughout the week. For instance, you can, include about 40 plus different ingredients per week and keep adding more and more different items. And this you could do by being open to trying new foods and including them in your daily diets. But obviously, make an informed choice. Do not include foods that you're allergic to. Okay. And it generally happens that most of us, we like our comfort foods. Okay. We generally go to our comfort foods and the usual recipes, while and adding variety is not what we, mostly focus on. So uh, let's have a quick check. So how many of you here have tried something new in the past 10 days? I can share mine. I tried the fruit parmesan yesterday and it was quite tasty. So anyone tried anything new in the past 10 days? It could be a fruit, a vegetable, a protein, a herb, a spice. Dragon fruit. Okay, someone's saying dragon fruit. Okay. Mostly I'm just getting a no. So we are not trying. We are not trying for diversity. Okay, so this is a very important thing, especially for your gut, that you have, a diverse food items. Next, we come to eating at the wrong times. Okay, I'll just have a small water break. Okay, eating at the wrong times. Now, eating at the wrong times can throw you off your circadian rhythm and it will definitely mess with your metabolism. Now, how it works. Okay, I'll tell you how it works. So, you start your day with breakfast, and that gives you some energy for your daily, to get you going. And any extra energy is stored as fat. So as the day passes, you eat your lunch, you eat your evening snack, all of it gives you energy for doing your daily business. And then whatever extra will get stored as fat. But here's the key. After your last meal, as the night falls and you're not going to eat anymore, your body starts to run low on carbohydrates. So, what does it do? It starts to draw energy from fat by burning fat. So, there is this back and forth cycle of using carbohydrates during the day and fats during the night. Okay, and this is what helps us maintain our body weight. Please note, it helps us maintain weight, not it is not a very good weight loss technique, but yes, it will help you lose weight and in the long run can also promote weight loss. Okay, so however, if you're eating late in the night, this rhythm will get interrupted and you are cutting short your time. When your body chooses to burn fat, you're cutting short that time. Now, this will lead to weight gain and it will lead to other metabolic diseases. So keep your meals on schedule and keep them balanced. Okay, so now because of this rhythm, this is where, the time restricted eating, or now very popularly known as intermittent fasting, it comes into picture. So intermittent fasting or time restricted eating can make a big difference for weight loss and for other metabolic conditions like diabetes, hypertension, fatty liver. So basically, what you do is you eat within a 8 to 12 hour window. Okay. And basically 8 to 12 hour window, whatever works for you. I'm not saying that you have to, everyone needs to eat within 8 hours. You could choose, there's a range. So you start your day with a morning tea and you wrap up with the last meal. And before going to bed, make sure that there is a gap of about 2 hours between your sleep time and the last thing that you eat. It's a very simple tweak, but it's going to really help your metabolism work better and it's going to support your overall health. Okay, now there are some very simple eating habits, but they are very impactful. Okay, the first one being do not skip your breakfast. Okay, do not skip your breakfast. Eat it at a consistent time because breakfast, it activates our body clock and it synchronizes circadian rhythm in most of our organs. So do eat a scrumptious breakfast and try to have it at the same time. Okay. Next is avoid eating anything for about 45 minutes to an hour after waking up in the morning because our organs take about an hour to be fully awake. And as our night hormones are going down and our day hormones are going up, so give a gap of about 45 minutes to an hour before you start eating. Water. We all know we need 2 to 3 liters of water in a day. So, but it's not just about the total amount, it's also how you drink it. So instead of, chugging down 2 glasses at one go and then going hours without a single sip, try sipping small amounts of water throughout the day and your body is going to thank you for it. Then is stay energized before important tasks, which we've already discussed that if you want to stay energized during an important task, make sure you eat something before that. So if it is a meal that you are going to eat, there should be a gap of about 45 minutes to an hour. And if it is a snack that you're going to eat, it should be 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, now comes improving your relationship with. The first thing that you need to improve your relationship with is your sleep. So 8 hours in bed. Okay. See, we often hear reference to beauty sleep. And well, beauty is, ultimately it's about restoration, it's about anti-aging, it's about, performing at your peak level. So a deep sleep, it goes a long way in restoring peak performance. Then is, morning daylight. Okay. So exposing yourself to daylight for at least 30 to 60 minutes on a daily basis is one of the most powerful ways to reset your brain's internal clock. So when you wake up in the morning and you look at the bright light through your eyes, it sends a powerful signal to your brain, which then further sends a signal to the rest of your organs and helps them align with the circadian rhythm. So 30 to 60 minutes natural daylight exposure is must. Okay, post-meal walks. Now, taking a relaxed 10 to 15-minute walk after meals can do wonders for your digestion, your blood sugar levels, and your energy. It is also an ancient Ayurvedic practice. It is called as Shaptavali, which means walking 100 steps post-meal to aid your digestion. But remember, gentle walking is great, but intense walking, like a brisk walk or jogging just after your meals, it can have the opposite effect. So keep it light and, enjoy the benefits. Then comes daily exercise. Okay, just as a short walk after meals, it aids in digestion. A regular exercise is vital for your overall health. Now, irrespective of your age, everyone must aim for at least 30 minutes of movement 5 times a week. Okay. And the best plan is if you can combine cardio exercises, flexibility, and strength training, all of these in the entire week. But again, remember, exercise should energize you. It should not leave you sore for days, or it should not leave you completely drained. Okay. So if a workout feels too intense or it's too overwhelming and doesn't make you feel good, maybe it's not for you. Okay. So find what works for you, stay consistent, and make movement a lifelong habit. So we have talked about eating, we've talked about movement. Now comes winding down.
Ridhima,
Okay.
sorry, partly here. So there are a couple
Yeah,
of
yeah.
questions. Can we take them in the chat window?
Yes, yes, of course, of course.
Yes.
Let's
So
do
there are two
that.
questions. It is almost the same. So people have this dal in their daily meal. So is it enough for as a protein requirement for the day? So it is two questions, which may.
That depends how much quantity of dal they are eating.
Okay. So generally I think we
Mm-hmm.
eat 1 cup of dal. So I think
Okay.
the question is, does it meet the daily requirement of protein as an individual?
See, if you are a vegetarian, vegetarians can definitely meet their protein requirement through whatever foods are there. And eating dals are also very rich in proteins. There is no problem in eating dals, right? But again, you have to have a diversity. You cannot eat the same dal every day, right? As far as meeting protein needs, dal is enough. There's no problem with it.
Okay. And there's one more question. So what to consume before a workout from
What
Akansha?
to consume before a workout? Before your workout, see, that again depends upon your requirement. If your workout is just to maintain your weight, then maybe if you could eat a banana before your workout or eat some nuts before your workout will work. But if you are an elderly person and you are just going for a casual walk, then again, these things will be okay. And if you are going for a workout to build muscle, then obviously things change. Then eating a banana will not work out. Then you have to eat something which will give you energy for those strenuous workouts, which is you have to focus on some amount of carbohydrate and some amount of fat in it. so that you have constant supply of energy during your workout.
Okay, so that's it. So I had one question. So we spoke about circadian rhythm,
Yes,
and avoid eating late in the night, right? So
yes.
generally, is there any general thumb rule like this is the time we should after which we should avoid eating anything?
See, generally, if you ask me, there is a standard pattern wherein people should consume their dinner by about 7:30 and not eat post that. But one thing is not going to fit everybody. Everybody has different schedules. So what you could do is try to, have a eating window that probably I'll try and finish my food within 10 hours. Okay. And suppose I'm sleeping at 12. So you can stop eating at 10. Give a gap of at least 2 to 3 hours between your last meal and your bedtime. And if possible, ideal is that you finish your meal before 8. That's ideal. But according to individual, preferences or their because of the demands of the work, things will obviously have to change.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions or should I continue?
I think that's it. So there was an add-on question to
That's it.
the
Yeah.
on the what to consume before workout. So they're asking like for someone working on losing weight at the age of 28, what should be consumed before workout?
See, you can eat a small snack. Maybe you can eat a vegetable poha or you can eat a upma before you're going for working out. But make sure you're not eating a big portion. Okay. You can also have a smoothie, not milk based, curd based. Okay, you can have nuts in it. So they will keep you full for your workout and give you the energy needed.
I think we can continue, Ridhima. There are no questions as of now.
Okay, okay. Okay, so coming to winding down. Now, deep breathing is one of the most simple and effective ways to calm your mind and your body. So, deep breathing, maybe a set of 5 deep breaths, 1 to 3 times a day, this could be done while you're traveling to or from the office, or maybe you're waiting for a meeting to start, or maybe you can add it as your, winding down process before sleeping. Then is again 2 hours before the bed, please do not eat. Give this gap of 2 hours and switch your gadgets to night mode, switch your indoor lighting to dim lighting. So these changes will help you sleep better and faster, and they'll help you align with your natural circadian rhythm. So small changes, big difference. I am a big advocate of small persistent changes, and every time you are thinking of making a change, make sure you understand your body, see what is going to suit you and what is not. Make the small change and be persistent with it. So thank you for listening so patiently, and I'm hoping attentively. And if you have any follow-up questions, please shoot them right at me now.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
participants can unmute themselves and ask the question if you have
Yes.
any question.
Yes. Okay. So any questions?
So, until people unmute themselves or post in the chat, so I had a couple
Yeah.
of them, Ridhima. So,
Yeah.
so you spoke about the initial poll was on what productive time you had given. So
Right.
once people posted it was 2:30 p.m. Where they felt they're low on energy. So I just want to ask,
Right.
like, how can we avoid post lunch energy slump?
See, to avoid that, whatever, first of all, eat a balanced meal. Okay. Do not eat anything which will make you more sleepy. Like if you are eating a very energy dense food, like you're eating samosa or you're eating anything fried, your body takes a lot of time and it spends a lot of energy in trying to digest those food items. So while it is digesting that, it is going to make you feel sleepy because it wants to focus on digestion. That's more important than anything else right now. So try to have a healthy meal, and after your meal, Go for a 10 to 15-minute walk, expose yourself to natural daylight, and you will not feel sleepy. You try it, it really works.
Great, great. I have a couple of more questions. The participants, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or
Yeah.
you put that in the chat. Ridhima, you can stop sharing so that
Mm-hmm.
your video is there. So I will just.
Okay, okay. Just a minute.
So can you suggest some easy work-friendly snacks, that generally, people try to binge it, like you just mentioned, people just head out, we see,
Yeah.
over a cup of tea or samosa and stuff like that. So what would be the healthy alternatives which we can?
Healthy alternatives are right there in front of you. It's poha, upma, these things, these traditional recipes that we have been making all the time. Those
Okay.
are the healthy snacks. Okay, so try to have three major meals, and your evening snack has to be a substantial snack. It shouldn't be something like two biscuits and a chai. No, that's not going to work. You have to eat something like you're eating a small portion of poha, a small portion of maybe a vegetable macaroni, or maybe you know, even if you're eating a whole wheat pasta, add a lot of vegetables to it and make it a healthy snack. The way I told you that you have to see all the food groups have to be there. So if you are suppose making poha, you can add rice flakes, you can add vegetables, you can add some sprouts to it, and obviously fat for cooking, peanuts you can add, you can add some nut powders to it, and make it balanced and perfect for you. So whatever meals that you are eating on a general basis, you just have to tweak them a bit from unbalanced to balanced. That's all there is.
Okay. And as we are all the participants from the corporate background, so
Uh-huh.
one of the things, what we when we hang out, so it's over a coffee. So we see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us, including us and our colleagues, we tend to have
Mm-hmm.
on an average at least two cups of coffees or even more sometimes. So I just
Mm-hmm.
want to understand, like, is it good or bad for productivity? Is there any other alternatives
See,
to that?
for productivity, you have to eat food. Coffee is not food. I have nothing against coffee. If you like to have coffee, please have coffee. Twice in a day is absolutely okay. But for productivity, you have to fuel your body. You have to eat.
Mm.
Without eating on coffee, you can't last long. That I'm sure everybody must have felt that if it's a busy day and you're just drinking coffee, by night you will be like hell tired that no, I can't, I will probably take an off tomorrow because I can't deal with it. So that is what will happen if you are trying to last on coffee. So coffee is good, you can have, but it's not going to give you much.
Okay. And one more thing, what we observe, since a lot of us are bachelors or we have a very tight work schedules, we sometimes or most of the times we don't carry our lunch. So either we go
Hmm.
out and eat or it is something, which we order, right? So
Hmm.
what could be the better food choices, when we eat out or when we order something? So if you could give some suggestions around it.
See, if you cannot cook at home, the best possible thing that, like suppose in Bangalore, we have idli, dosa, and all of these. So try to order from a place wherein you feel that the food is not going to be very oily. You can have normal roti, dal, sabzi. Carry yourself a box full of salad. So you are basically supplementing yourself in, so roti, dal, sabzi, and salad you're carrying from home. Maybe a cup of curd you can buy from the store. So even though you're ordering from outside, you are still balancing your meals. And if the concern is that you can't have outside meal every time, maybe you can cook simple rice at home and order a dal or a gravy or some chicken from outside, combine it with some vegetables and have it. But in my personal opinion, I think cooking is a life skill. Everyone should know how to cook their own meal.
Great, great, great.
Yeah.
So, are there any specific foods that help in reduce work-related stress, anxiety? Would you throw some
See,
light
if
on
you
it?
are hinting towards any superfoods, that's just a myth. I don't believe in superfoods.
Yes,
They
yes.
don't exist.
Because every month there is a superfood.
Yeah.
Right
No.
now, I see
Uh-huh.
makana is being, no, I see in Shark
Yeah.
Tank
Yeah.
in US, people are
Yeah.
selling makana from their.
Actually, in there are so many traditional vegetables that we have in our country, which people in US have no clue about, and
Mm.
which is good because the moment they get a clue of those things, they will become superfoods, and we'll not have access to them because they'll become so expensive. So there is nothing called a superfood. You have to eat a balanced diet. You have to include all food groups. You have to eat a diverse diet. So um, if you want to stay active throughout the day, you have to peak perform. Make sure you're eating all the major five food groups that I talked about.
Okay. In the session, you touched upon the irregular sleeping patterns for people right now.
Yeah.
And I see generally now a lot of young professionals, they find it a challenge as well, depending on their schedule. Are there certain food groups or categories or certain foods in itself which in turn helps, improves sleep and helps boost performance?
Yes, there are. See, if your meals are, again, I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat myself again. If you're eating three full meals, okay, not compromising on any of the food groups, and
Okay.
if you're eating two substantial snacks, it will keep you energized. Okay, if you are not thinking that eating cashew or eating, almonds or peanuts is going to make me fat,
Mhm.
these are very, very nutritious things. Like I see people and they say that we don't eat cashew because it's very high in fat. They have no medical issue, they still don't want to eat cashew because it is high fat. But what they don't realize is that cashew is a very powerful food. It is so much rich in vitamin E. Okay, so you have to eat everything. There is barely anything that we have which does not have good nutrition, something that you can skip.
Yeah, yeah. So I have one last question. So if the participants have anything else, they can ask. So
Yeah.
this is something which we as a society in
Yeah.
India, um, you could call it a little patriarchal, but we always want hot roti on a plate or hot rice, hot sambar.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we hear like the people, Indians who travel abroad who live there, they
Hmm.
prepare a meal for the entire week, refrigerate it, and warm it and
Hmm.
eat it. Uh, is it a healthy practice, or do we avoid it, or do we reduce it?
See,
No, do we,
if your work demands are such that you cannot do it, okay.
Mhm.
See, doing something which is possible for you, fine. But if something that cannot fit into your schedule, and instead of giving you more relief, it is causing more problems to you, it's not going to work out. Like I mentioned for exercise also, that if some exercise is, it's draining you out, it's not going to help. So if cooking at once for the entire day is what will give you time off and will help you relax, because relaxation is also very important, then it's all right. But as far as eating hot meals, who doesn't love to have hot meals? Hot meals are always better than refrigerated meals, because obviously they're more tasty.
Okay, okay, yes. So yeah, any questions from the participants? You could unmute yourself or post it. So one final thing, because it
Yeah.
keeps popping up. So today everybody
Yes, yes,
is a
please.
food vlogger. Everybody with a mic on a podcast are, like in your space, are dietitians. People are talking about left, right, center. No, we should eat this. We should not eat this. We should eat something at a particular time. Some say we should not do that. So there are a lot of opinions. You on a, for example, eating start a breakfast, which everybody eats, universally known. But there will be 100 videos saying that you should avoid eating a breakfast. You should have two
Okay.
meals. So how do we are surrounded by so much of information. I know that we should cut ourselves away from that. How, like you yourself being a
Yeah.
certified dietitian, how do we bifurcate? What would be the right thing for us? Uh,
See, I would suggest how to identify if the information is right or information is fake.
mhm,
So, whoever you are following or listening to, see if they're qualified to give that advice, if they have a degree in that particular field. See, obviously, will you ever go and get your heart surgery done by somebody who says that, yeah, I can do it, or I have done it for myself, so I can do it for you too? You won't, right?
correct.
You would search even out of all the doctors available, you would want to search who is most qualified, who has seen most patients. So similarly, go to somebody who's qualified for this job, who has studied nutrition for 7 to 8 years, so
Mhm.
that person will know what is going to suit you, rather than following a fake trend. Also, when you are going to a qualified person, see how much experience the person has, how many patients the person has handled. So these things will matter.
Okay, great,
So
great.
basically, make an informed choice. You can't just go and follow everybody, because there is too much noise on, in the social media. There's too much noise about health.
True, true, very much. Definitely. So Rajiv says, good to know about cashier. So yeah, so that was the point. Yeah, he mentioned. So any more questions, guys? I don't see any further questions, Ritima. I think
Okay.
there is one from Amit. Go ahead,
Yes,
Amit.
yes.
Okay. So again,
Should we have fruits
very
before or
contextual
after the
question.
meals?
Yes.
Um, See, if you don't have any medical issue, then it should not matter. But yeah, you can have them after the meals, but fruits are best suited as snacks combined with, like you can make a sprout salad and add some pomegranate to it. So, yes, but fruits can be eaten post meal. It's not a problem. Not anymore.
I think as long as they are organic, they should be good to consume, I guess.
I don't believe in organic or inorganic,
Okay.
because you don't know what is coming from where.
I
So,
know.
So
Yeah,
I
because
think you should consume whatever is, seasonally available
okay,
in your area. That is the best thing to go for. Whatever is seasonal is always the best.
okay. So there's one from Harshita. So there are a lot of food myths around, and
Yeah.
one food myth, what she has heard is that avoiding rice would help in weight loss. So is it a myth or
See, rice is not just a food item. Rice is our culture. Okay. Starting from when the baby is born, we eat rice, and when, post death, pindaan also is rice. So rice is it's not just a food item. So it's not right to say that rice will cause weight gain. But obviously, individual differences are there, and without assessing that in entirety, it's very difficult to say. But like if I have to generalize it, yes, rice is not going to cause you any problem. It's a very good food.
I
I
think
myself eat rice.
yeah, I think with the point what you made is what I understand, like the having diversity in your plate, right?
Yes,
So I think
yes,
that would help. I
yes.
do think.
And let alone, there are so many types of rice available in our country, right? So, rice is, I think, one of the most nutritious carbs. So there's nothing wrong with eating rice. But yes, quantity has to be correct and combinations have to be correct. You don't have to just eat rice and pickle. That's not going to work, because that's obviously not balanced. So always focus whether your meal is balanced or not. If it is not balanced, balance it and then eat.
Great.
Yeah, Ridhima, I just have a question. Thanks for taking us through a wonderful journey of food and productivity. I start my day with a cup of coffee. Is it a good habit? Because that's the first intake of my meal, a coffee or glass to start the day. Is that a good habit, or is it after the meal you need to have a coffee? Just help me because this is a practice for years for me.
Uh-huh. See, coffee post meal is best. Okay. But see, we don't just eat food to nourish ourselves. Food gives us happiness. Okay. And if that is going away, then little changes here and there, I think, can be compromised. So if you like to have your coffee first thing in the morning, obviously after an hour, not immediately waking up and then having coffee, not that. So if you like to have coffee in the morning, it's all right. Okay. But it's always better if you have it post meals.
The second leading question, thanks for that. The another bad habit I have, my dinners are usually non-veg. I know you said 2 hours before you eat the bed. So usually eating a good non-veg meal, is it a good habit as a dinner or keep it for lunch?
See, if you're able to digest it, then it's fine. But if you have problems digesting what you're eating, like if you're eating non-veg and then you're feeling some stomach discomfort later on, then clearly your body is not able to take it. So you have to identify whether you're able to digest it or not. If not, then obviously you push it towards lunch. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with eating non-veg at night. But again, quantity and balance has to be maintained.
Thank you.
Any questions, anyone? Okay. So thank you all. So I think one of the key takeaways for me was, try to make those small changes, stick to what is convenient to you, or in the right sense, which is good for your health and having
Yes, in the
diverse.
right sense.
Yeah, yeah. So that were my personal takeaways from this. So thank you everyone for joining us today. So we hope the webinar provided you valuable insights to help you make smaller nutrition choices for a healthier, more productive workday. So thank you, Ridhima, so for walking us through. So it was a very insightful session. So we would look forward for more such insightful sessions from you. So thank you for guiding us.
So,
I'm sure it has given a perspective from food point of view and the productivity point of view. What would be the right choices for us to make. So thank you for that. So really appreciate taking time out for us. So
mhm.
thank you all the participants for joining in as well.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good day, everyone.